I don't know why it's harder than leaving. I know that there are so many things in the world drawing our attention away from ourselves. And that a lot of the tools we've adopted to bring attention to the now, which is a really popular thing, right? Mindfulness and all of these things, don't really work well if you have any sort of trauma, which in the frameworks that I've learned, trauma is anything that's too much too soon without adequate support. So
like
everyone, right? And learning how to, and we're not given the tools when we're young to learn how to pilot our own bodies as if our body was a vehicle that's moving us around, which it is. And so if we give each other, if we can learn, teach, play around things that teach us what it's actually like to be fully present in your own flesh, then it's a lot easier to do that. And it doesn't have to be scary, but for a lot of people, it's scary, right? Like, what's the sound my gut's making? Why do I hurt? Why do I keep hurting? I just banged my toe. I don't want to feel that. I don't want to feel that is really easy when feeling is a lot. So learning how to feel and it not feel like a lot.
Yeah. So what it feel is it, Samfire, I have this urge to describe, because I was disembodied for a long time as a result of trauma, and then coming back to my body was quite an experience. Like for years I was disembodied, like I would barely visit my body. And so I can tell you my experience was realizing what it feels like to feel like you take up space, like inside your body takes up space. And like it's okay to feel how your foot is falling asleep and to change the position of your foot so that you're not like, to get the signal and be like, I'm going to change that because I can feel it. And it's okay to feel the pain and the emotional pain that comes with being in your body. And it's just like, it was a transformative experience of being like, this is where my body is. And then realizing how separate my attention and my memory and all of my sort of thinking stuff sort of is from my body usually, or had been from my body, just like zipping around, because I like to think, right, a lot. And so zipping around the universe. Yeah, so it's interesting that we're talking about this because it's so powerful. It's a profound experience when you've done the trick of saying, I'm not going to be in my body because I don't want to deal with all that.
Right.
Do you know, does this resonate with you? Do you know what we're talking
No, I'm trying to, I am right now just ransacking the files in my brain, trying to get to where I can recollect a similar experience. And so far I'm not really succeeding. I mean, I've had the experience where I'm driving and 10 minutes later I'm there and I can't really recall. And I think I think everyone has that experience. But I can't really connect to this idea of not feeling like I'm inhabiting my body for a long time. I was thinking about pickleball because I love to play, and I think one of the things that adults really tragically lose, most of them anyway, as they grow up, is they lose the ability to play. And one of the wonderful things about playing is that during those 2 hours when I'm playing pickleball, I am rarely, nothing else enters my mind. Whereas in almost any other activity, I might be answering an email, but for 10 seconds while answering the email, my mind goes to something else and I gotta bring it back, So that's focus, that's flow, that's concentration, that's what happens.
Yeah.
But so I have a strong feelings of being very present to what my body is doing, pickleball, but I don't have feelings of leaving my body.
But Carmen, you're an unusual case.
Well, I mean, yes, that's perhaps true.
That's, I think, why one of the where, you know, so if we had an episode where we were talking about where does your power come from, because you are always shocked that people think that you're influential, and
Yes.
yeah, you're shocked by that, but you have this personal power, I would call it, and I think it comes from being incredibly skilled at and used to inhabiting your body. You're very grounded. And so I think that's actually what people are feeling. So when you're ransacking your memory, it's because it has not happened to you that you're floating away for
No,
years. Yeah,
no,
I just don't see it.
no.
Yeah, yeah, which is a kind of power of being sort of rooted in your body that is, people see that. It's like one of the first, I'm drooling. It's one of the first things they see about you, you know. It's really profound. I don't know, Samphire, do you have a sense of that? I have a sense of that with Carmen.
Yeah, even through the screen, I have that sense of Carmen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're rooted to the ground.
I am, yes. Well, that reminds me, actually, when I was at Deloitte, I was giving advice to young kids starting out. You know, I was sort of a mentor to them. And so we were practicing their briefing skills. And a lot of people just walk around when they talk in public. And they go back and forth and back and forth. It kind of makes you dizzy. And this one guy it was just extreme. It was completely distracting. Matt. So I said, Matt, when you go up to stage, think tree trunk. You are a tree trunk.